It's something I would have never imagined, that little old me would be recognized on such a national level. I was born and raised in a small town known as Elba, Alabama. Being the only girl in the household, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, who raised me. She taught me so much about life. She was very sick during my early childhood, so she taught me a lot of things in terms of caring for other human beings. By the time I was 10 years old, I knew a lot of things. I knew how to take blood pressures, I knew how to check blood sugars, I knew how to give medications, I knew signs and symptoms of strokes and just things that a normal 10-year-old probably wouldn't be that observant of. I had just a great overview of what it meant to be a nurse and how to care for patients. So that's where my love for nursing started at such an early age. I had one older cousin who actually joined the military, and she was just an example of what I wanted to be. So I saw her and the successes that she had, throughout her journey as a soldier, and I decided that I wanted to follow those footsteps. I enlisted into the supply field, and as soon as I could, I re-enlisted and I became a medic and then an LVN. I did deploy 2 years after my schooling to Bagram, Afghanistan, where I was there for over a year. I also deployed to Baghdad, Iraq, where I worked in a detainee healthcare facility. I was in the military, I believe it was year 13 or 14, where I was diagnosed with a pituitary adenoma, which is a tumor at the base of my brain. Something within me told me that I needed to go and get my vision checked out because I started to have headaches. So I went to the emergency department. I learned that night that I had a brain tumor that needed to be taken care of fairly quickly. I had the surgery, my first surgery. There were complications. I had CSF leaks, I had brain fluid leaks. The tumor was pressing on my optical nerve, and at that point I had damaged almost my entire optical nerve on my left side, which resulted in me being permanently blind in my left eye. We had another surgery. Immediately after that, I had a third complication, so they had to go back in, and I had 2 more procedures that were done at that point. So all of this is happening to me at the age of 35 years old. My motivation in life has always been my children. At that moment, that was all that I could think about, my kids, and I needed to figure out how I was going to navigate the situation. I always focus on the light at the end of the tunnel. When I think about my surgeries and, just sitting in the ICU bed next to my sister, back in 2013, she gifted me a journal, and I asked her, what was this for? And she said, for you to write your story, because one day the world will hear about it. We all go through things in life for a reason, whether it's for ourselves, whether it's to motivate others. Just keep pushing. Keep pushing.
The winner of the Registered Nurse in a Staff Role category is Shamika Tillis of the South Texas Veterans Healthcare System. Ms. Tillis was competitively selected from a pool of over 2,500 applicants. Shamika Tillis has clearly demonstrated her leadership acumen in multiple ways. Notably, Ms. Tillis organized an interdisciplinary team to improve transitions of care and to increase enrollment for both home telehealth and the congestive heart failure clinics. Congratulations to Ms. Tillis for being recognized as the 2022 award winner for the Secretary's Award for Excellence in Nursing for the Registered Nurse in a Staff Role. Shamika Tillis has seized every opportunity to help increase the quality and efficiency of VA healthcare.